In the quiet outskirts of a village, surrounded by ancient woods and sprawling fields, lived a young mother named Sarah and her newborn son, Liam. Life had been anything but easy for her. Just weeks before Liam was born, she had lost her husband, and the silence in their small wooden cabin was often deafening. Every day felt heavy, each moment a poignant reminder of the voice she no longer heard, the strong hand she could no longer hold. But Liam was the fragile, flickering light that kept her moving forward. His mere presence filled their home with a soft, delicate warmth that pushed back the shadows. Not far from the cabin, deep in the heart of the forest, a young fawn was also struggling. He had recently lost his mother to the unforgiving harshness of winter. Weak, frightened, and perpetually hungry, he wandered through the trees day and night, searching for comfort, for a sign, for any reason at all to keep going. He would often lower his head, his small body trembling, his breath coming in short, heavy gasps. Two souls, one human and one animal, both fractured by loss, both searching for something they couldn't yet name or understand. One serene morning, as Sarah stepped outside to hang laundry, the gentle breeze carrying the scent of pine, she noticed a subtle movement at the edge of the trees. Something gentle, hesitant, was watching her. A small fawn stepped out from behind a thicket of ferns, his large ears perked, his eyes wide with a mixture of curiosity and fear. Sarah whispered softly, "It's okay. I won't hurt you." She stood perfectly still, her breath held, afraid that any sudden move would scare him away. But the fawn wasn't looking at her. His attention was fixed on the small basket near her feet, where Liam was sleeping. He was drawn to the soft, rhythmic sounds coming from the baby. It was as if that tiny, steady heartbeat felt familiar, a comforting echo of a warmth he had lost. The fawn took a slow, tentative step forward, then another, until he was right beside the basket. He lowered his head and sniffed gently. Just then, Liam stirred in his sleep, his tiny hand moving unconsciously, his fingers brushing against the fawn's wet nose. In that single fleeting moment of contact, for the first time since losing his mother, the fawn didn't feel so utterly alone. From that day forward, the young deer became a regular visitor. Every morning without fail, he would emerge from the forest and make his way to the cabin. He would lie patiently on the porch while Sarah fed Liam, his head resting on his front legs. He would watch, completely captivated, as Liam kicked his tiny feet and let out soft, gurgling laughs. He would sit beside the baby's basket for hours, lowering his head as if he were a silent, steadfast guardian, protecting this small, new life. Sarah couldn't explain it, and she didn't try to. She only knew that somehow, this little deer was mending a place in her heart she thought would remain broken forever. For the first time in weeks, watching them together, a genuine smile touched her lips. But their peaceful routine was shattered the night the storm came. Dark, ominous clouds gathered, and the wind began to howl, rattling the windows of the small cabin. The sudden roar of thunder woke Liam, and he began to cry, his small wails swallowed by the fury of the storm. Sarah rushed to him, scooping him into her arms. "It's okay, sweetheart. Mom is here," she soothed. Suddenly, a deafening crack echoed through the night as a massive tree branch crashed against the side of the house. The force of the impact blew the cabin door wide open. In the ensuing chaos, Sarah stumbled and dropped her lantern. The light went out, plunging the room into darkness as the cold, violent wind rushed inside. Panicked, she turned back toward Liam's crib, but it was empty. "Liam! Liam!" she screamed, her voice cracking with terror. Her heart stopped. The storm roared louder, and somewhere in the vast, consuming darkness, she heard a distant, faint cry. Outside, the rain was relentless, and flashes of lightning illuminated the thrashing trees. But Sarah wasn't the only one desperately searching. At the edge of the forest stood the young fawn, drenched and trembling, but alert. His ears twitched, and he heard the baby's cry, carried on the wind. Without a moment's hesitation, he bolted into the storm. Something deep inside him, a force more powerful than mere instinct, pushed him forward through the blinding rain and treacherous terrain. He found the baby near the fallen tree, the basket toppled over, but the child miraculously unharmed. He immediately lowered his head, using his own small body to shield the baby from the pouring rain. As lightning flashed across the sky, it revealed the fawn, standing firm and unmoving, a small, loyal guardian in the heart of the tempest. He stayed right there, guarding the child with every ounce of his being. A moment later, Sarah burst out of the cabin, her lantern held high. its light cutting a shaky path through the darkness. "Liam! Oh, please, Liam!" she cried, her voice raw with desperation, and then she saw it. Through the sheets of rain, she saw the fawn standing protectively over her son. What she saw that night she would never, ever forget. She dropped to her knees, pulling Liam into a tight, desperate embrace. Then, her eyes filled with tears, she looked at the deer-soaked, trembling, but resolute. "Thank you," she whispered, the words catching in her throat. The deer blinked slowly, his dark, gentle eyes meeting hers, almost as if he were saying goodbye. The next morning, the storm had passed. A gentle sun rose over the calm, clean-washed forest. The fawn stood at the edge of the woods, watching the cabin. Sarah opened the door, holding Liam securely in her arms. A soft smile touched her face. "You'll always be welcome here," she said, her voice full of a gratitude that words could never fully express. And though the deer returned to his life in the forest, he never truly left. He came back every single day. As the seasons changed, Liam grew from a baby into a toddler, and he would sit outside, laughing with delight as his faithful friend, the deer, rested his head gently in his lap. Two lives, once broken, were saved by a bond they never chose, but one they both deeply, profoundly needed. In a world so often filled with noise and fear, a baby and a deer reminded everyone what love, in its purest form, can truly look like.